What is up, everybody? This is episode number 26, ESO Recap. My name is Defatank. This episode is brought to you by Great Architect. If you want more information about our multi-gaming community or our guilds, please head over to greatarchitect.us. For tonight, I've got a lot of information for you guys that's came out this week concerning the PvP frame rate issue. We also got some brand new stuff that I just seen on the forums today. I've not heard a lot of people talking about it, but it is provisioning revisions. Also, we're going to talk about the Road Ahead July post. And lastly, we're going to take a look briefly at some of the stuff from patch 1.3 update, just some of the main features. We're not going to dig too deep into 1.3, but we're going to get our hands dirty a little bit. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with episode number 26. First up, PvP frame rate issue. This is something that a lot of people have been seeing for about 3 weeks. ZeniMax has made repairs to PvP, and for the most part, the frame rate issue has been fixed. ZeniMax is looking still at other things just to get everything back to where it was, basically, before this awful frame rate problem came up. But for a lot of people, it is fixed. I was doing PvP earlier, and was sitting right around 40-50 frames just about the whole time. So really good stuff. Glad to see that that has been fixed. So just want to give you guys a quick update on that. Next, we're going to talk about provisioning revisions. And this is going to be a little bit long because this is some new information. Just pulling it straight off the forums. So to begin with, ZeniMax is wanting to redo provisioning, and from what I've read, it seems to be pretty good. So here's what we got. ZeniMax says, we're considering a significant revamp of provisioning, and we'd like to get your feedback on it. Our goals with this proposed changes are to improve the experience of collecting ingredients, to get away from the idea of tiered components, and to make brewing more useful. In a nutshell, we want to allow you to utilize every basic food stuff you see in the game with cooking. So to begin with, ingredients is where they start. Cooking, they say what you see is what you get. Okay, pretty simple, but what does it mean? They say you see grapes, you get grapes. You see cheese, you get cheese. There's no more clicking on a sack of green beans to get aged meat. Really good change. Brewing, based on a container type, like barrels, sacks, and crates. They're saying brewing ingredients will be broken up by closed container types to keep them more useful and to avoid overlapping with cooking. Next, we take a look at the functionality of provisioning. Food and drink categories will have a clearer usage. What they're talking about here, you're going to have, just like you have now, you have cooking and brewing, but they're going to be making some modifications to these. For instance, you have your soup and pies and things like that currently, and in alcohol, you got things like spirits and wines. They're looking to change these significantly. Under cooking, they're wanting to have meat, which is going to be for health, fruit, which is going to be for magicka, and then they're going to have vegetables, which will affect stamina. For brewing, you're going to have alcohol, which is for health, tea, which is going to be for magicka, and tonic, which is going to be for stamina. Next, combination recipes will be rarer, requiring more ingredients and give multiple benefits as expected. Now with that, there is something I'm going to be talking about that Gina Bruno came up and clarified that a little bit more, so before you start going crazy, there's more to come on that. But here's an example that they give before they go in depth about it and clarify some things. They said, example, rabbit, meat, and carrots, a vegetable, may be combined if you have rabbit stew recipe, and the result provides both health and stamina pool increase, somewhat less than what pure health or pure stamina food would provide as in the current system. The next thing, regeneration benefits of drinking will now stack with the food buffs. Some balancing changes may occur. And they just want to note here before they clarified some things. They said by having ingredients sourced in a clearer way and using combination of food instead of increased tier ingredients, we will be able to cut the number of ingredients in half while still providing just as many recipes we have now, if not more. This will require most, if not all, of the existing recipes to be changed to accommodate this new paradigm. Our current plan is to replace existing recipes and provisioning items with the ones from the new system, matching quality and as much as possible. Any additional unused based ingredients from the previous incarnation of the system will be changed to stale versions of themselves, and we'd like to include some way to offload them that provides value. They close this in saying, "We realize this is a major change, and many of you have invested heavily in leveling up provisioning and collecting recipes, so we wanted to get your feedback before proceeding. We feel this would be a major improvement to the game, and we want to hear your thoughts on the matter." So ZeniMax wants your feedback on this. This is on the forums, forums.elderscrollsonline.com, and it's just provisioning revision changes, I think is what it's called. And on page 3, this is something else that Gina Bruno recently chimed in with earlier today. She says, "Hey folks, I just wanted to clarify a few things based on questions and comments that have been raised so far in this thread." So already on page 3, it's been very, very heated. I think it's up to like page 8 now or something. They say, when we say combination recipes will be rarer, require more ingredients, and give multiple benefits as expected, this means that they are rarer than non-combination recipes, not rarer than they are now. Next point. The insane rarity of high-level purple recipes is absolutely a bug with a fix coming, and is already in the pipeline. For example, it is not our intention that rare recipes are sourced exclusively through trials. So those really, really rare recipes, looks like they're going to become a little bit more common to find. It looks like it's been a bug as to why it's been so rare to get those recipes. Next, we're going to try to update the existing recipes that you already know to equivalent recipes in the new system. There may be some exceptions and some trade-offs, but our goal is to have you not lose the effort you spent collecting the recipes in the first place. Next, the ingredients themselves will not be tiered, but the recipes themselves and food made from them will be. The plan is to make each recipe be specific, unique combinations of ingredients that is not duplicated in any other recipe. This means that putting venison and cheese together may result in a level 5 recipe, but putting venison and flour together may result in a level 50 recipe, even though all the base materials are available immediately. So you'll be able to get flour immediately and venison and make a level 50 recipe if that's what you're wanting to do. At least that's the way I read that. Next, they say we do intend to have rare components of purple recipe akin to oats, though we may add additional ways to obtain it. So there are going to be rarer recipes to make better food and things like that. Level 50 and Veteran Rank 5 drinks providing the same bonus is definitely a bug, which we'll look into. Next, as a part of condensing of materials and making things more clear, we are likely going to remove the notion that certain recipes only drop in certain alliance zones. This revamp will absolutely not affect the rank and provisioning that you have achieved, so you're not going to lose any experience that you've gotten in provisioning. That's great. And lastly, once the justice system is released, we will make sure that provisioning is adjusted to ensure you do not need the Thieves Guild in order to participate in a meaningful trade skill. So that's some really, really cool stuff that we're looking at for provisioning changes. The next thing we're going to get into is going to be the road ahead post for July. First, ZeniMax is going to Quakecon. In case you don't know what Quakecon is, that is Bethesda's yearly thing that they do, where they talk about games with Bethesda and whatnot. So, what have we got going on? That's next week. You're going to have Future of ESO panel with developers talking about the new systems coming up in the game. There's going to be a PvP tournament and a Trials tournament. When is all this happening? It's going to be this coming Thursday through Saturday, July the 17th through the 19th, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. It's not going to be like non-stop all this time. They do have specific times laid out. This is what we have. Friday the 18th, 5 p.m. Central, Future of ESO panel. That is where the devs Paul Sage, Brian Wheeler, there's a bunch of other guys. It's going to be there answering questions and giving information about the future of the game. So 5 p.m. Central on Friday the 18th, you got the Future of ESO panel. Friday the 18th at 7 p.m. is going to be just a meet and greet. You know, if you're at Quakecon, stop in, you know, and say hi to the devs. That's going to be at 7. Now, Thursday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central is going to be a PvP tournament. So Thursday through Saturday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central, PvP tournament. Thursday through Saturday, starting at 1:30 p.m., is going to be the Trials tournament. These are going to be broadcast via Twitch. So make sure you guys tune into Twitch to get that information, watch those tournaments. Be some pretty cool stuff, I do believe. Next, the EU Mega Server transfer. It's going to be done the last week of July or the first week of August. And this right here is a big, tons of information came out about this. VR system changes. So listen up here, guys. ZeniMax has listened to feedbacks from players about VR changes, and there is a 3-phase adjustment going to happen. Phase 1, and we've already seen this. This is live. Reducing the difficulty of veteran rank zones so that solo players can complete the content by themselves if they wish. This came from a lot of people feeling that they had hit a wall when they went to 50 to veteran rank content. This change has been applied as of July the 7th. That is live. They reduced the zones of stuff, so it was more friendly to do the content by yourself, which I'm fine with that. They have not done anything to veteran rank dungeons or anything like that. The open world dungeons have been lowered a little bit, which they're getting some feedback on that as well. So that's where that stuff stands. Phase 2. Now this is huge. Removal of veteran point system. Yes. And what I said, removal of veteran points system. Points, that's a key word. They did not say anything about rank. Veteran points is the points you need to gain veteran rank. So just make that clear. Veteran points are going away. And normal XP gains direct the growth of the veteran system. Also, increase the amount of XP gained in PvP. So you're going to be able to get more XP whenever you do PvP. So if you guys want to do PvP and level your character, it's going to be more friendly to do so to do that. This is going to happen sometime over the summer. Paul Sage said last night, Thursday night, I think it was. I don't know. It was on QGN's interview with Paul Sage. It's likely to be update 4 when this hits. Now, why is all this going on? This goes into the Phase 3. Phase 3, they're going to be introducing a completely new veteran system, and it's based on new character customization and growth mechanics. This system is known as the Champion System. They're going to be giving more details about the Champion System at Quakecon, so make sure you're watching Quakecon next week, or next weekend I should say, Friday, and listen to what they say about it. In a recent interview, again with QGN, they got some more information out of Paul Sage about this system. This is what we know about it. The Champion System will have points that you earn via just leveling, getting XP that you put into certain passives. Example, things like critical hit. You can put multiple points from the champion points into critical hit to get better at a critical hit percent. Next, Champion System is account wide. You will be able to respec these champion points globally. So let's say that you get a character to 50. Then you start getting into the Champion System, and you earn 20 points with that character. You level another character to 50, and you start earning champion points with him, and you earn another 20. That's a total of 40 champion points. ZeniMax is saying that you'll be able to respec and return all 40 of these points back to your account, and then put those 40 points into one character if that's what you want to do. So you can move those around. It's really, really good. I'm glad that they're making that account wide so you can utilize them where you want them. Just as an estimation, and take this with a grain of salt, Paul was asked how quickly can you earn these points, and his estimation was about 1 per hour. That's going to greatly vary with anybody, so that's just an estimation. Lastly, you get champion points by getting experience. I already said that one, so it is tied to experience. Just questing, leveling up, things like that. That's how you get these points. In that interview, people were hammering chat, wanting a lot of information about it. Jessica Folsom in the chat, and I quote, her answer to what is this champion system, what's it like? She said, quote, think of EQAA. That was her answer. So if you don't know what that is, that's the EverQuest Alternate Advancement System from EverQuest. I didn't play EverQuest. I don't know anything about EverQuest. Lanham from our community, he put a video up explaining the EverQuest AA system. I believe that's youtube.com/Lanham, LAYENEM. So you can check that video out if you want more information about the EQAA system itself. That's not to say that the ESO champion system is going to be identical to the EQAA system, but think of the EQAA system generally speaking whenever they get ready to do this. So that's what we know about the champion system so far. Next, under the road ahead changes, class builds and balances. ZOS is taking things slowly whenever it comes to these changes of balancing builds and classes and stuff like that, because they greatly impact your play experience. You know, if they make a bunch of changes, then it's hard to really see how the balancing is occurring. So they're taking their time with these balance changes, and it's going to take time to balance things out. Now, ZeniMax has said, note, from now on, any major change to a skill line, ZeniMax will be offering a free respec to players who have invested points in that line. Next point is survivability of werewolves and the balance between their strengths and weaknesses may receive some adjustments. Templars is being evaluated, particularly some specific builds that may be underperforming when compared to similar builds of other classes. They go ahead and they comment on Dragon Knights. They say Dragon Knight classes are undergoing review to ensure that the class is still fun to play and still feels powerful. And they also said we're continuing to make adjustments to the Nightblade. We believe that what we've done so far has helped, but there may be more on the way. So they're still looking at Nightblades. Next, under itemization and rewards, new armor sets that are visually distinct from others. This is just some of the things that they're looking at changing in the game with itemization and getting gear. So you're going to have new armor sets that are visually distinct from others, both in just appearance-wise and color. ZeniMax has already said that these colors of this armor cannot be duplicated in the armor die system, which is there's going to be some stuff that I'm going to talk about in just a second. You guys are going to see this stuff live. A new system that will make it easier to find and complete sets in the game. So they're trying to make it easier for you guys to find these drop sets, to get the complete sets of them if that's what you're wanting. And lastly, item rewards will be handed out on a more logical fashion by quest and enemy drops. Next, under combat, this is just some stuff that I just wanted to read off that they've said about combat. They said, we've been working steadily behind the scenes to make combat more fun and visceral. This is a multi-prolonged effort to tweak and fix dozens of different game systems to lead to a smoother, more responsive combat system, similar to how we're changing the veteran system. We'll be making meaningful changes over time. We're making the changes to animation, audio, timing, server network optimization, and other factors to make combat more engaging. And you see that from something you're going to hear in the patch notes, like for instance where they reduce the weapon swap from 1.5 seconds to 0.5 seconds. In the PTS, they have removed weapon swap completely. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be seeing is adjustments. They also go on to say, we'll be showing off some of these new combat enhancements at Quakecon to demonstrate the evolution of the combat system that we've made in the past few months. Now then, let's see. I got a video. So let's take this picture down. I'm going to let this video play while I am talking about some of this stuff from the patch. This video is going to end before I get done, so I am going to let this play through completely just the first time, then I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to be in the PTS. So let's go ahead and start this. Alright, patch 1.3 update. This is in the PTS currently, not live changes. What I'm about to go over is not live changes, only on the PTS. Armor dyes have now been added to the game. You can visit a dye station and interact with it to dye any piece of armor that you own. Dye stations can be found in at least one town in every normal overworld zone. There are new map markers to add these dye station locations. Every piece of gear has up to 3 separate areas that can be dyed individually, and you have tools available to do so. You have color sets. You can use the special dye tool to create and apply custom color sets. The eyedropper tool. You can use the eyedropper tool to pick colors from previously dyed gear and apply the changes colors elsewhere. The paint bucket tool. This tool applies to the dyes that you've selected to corresponding color area of every piece of gear that you have equipped. At a dye station, you can see every color available. Dyes you haven't obtained yet are displayed with a lock icon. Hover over any locked color to see the achievement associated with it. You can right-click to jump to the achievement panel and read the achievement completion criteria. When a dye is unlocked, it will be available for all characters on your account. So that's Armor Dye System. Next, new and improved guild features. Improved guild management. Guild leaders can now create, delete, and reorder the guild ranks. Hold left click and drag and arrange the guild ranks. This can be done in the list itself. Guild leaders can also reassign unique icons for each rank. Guilds can have 10 ranks, including Guildmaster rank. Each guild rank has its own set of permissions. When creating a new guild rank, you can clone the permissions of a previously existing one. Next is guild heraldry, and you've seen that in the first part of that video there. The Tabard System. This feature is unlocked when the guild has reached 10 members. Guild leaders can design a guild herald that will appear on equipable tabards. So let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at the Tabard System now. This is what you've seen at the front. To get into the Guild Tabard System, you just hit G. You're going to go over to Guild Heraldry for you GMs out there. Only GMs can access this. You'll have a thing down here at the bottom. It says to buy it with 5,000 gold. You need to deposit at least 5,000 gold into your guild bank, and then you purchase this editing system. There are over 250 colors, 63 backgrounds, 136 crests available for the Guild Heraldry. So tons of customization. So right here, this is the backgrounds, what you're looking at right here. We can just simply click on these and you'll see it changes that there, the shape of the tabard. Very, very easy to change those. Go into primary color. We can start clicking these different colors, primary color and secondary color, to put whatever colors on the tabards we want it to put on there. You also have Guild Crest, which there are these different crests. There's 136 of these. They range from Daedric alphabet to racial images, miscellaneous stuff, architecture, animals, alliance. You can put your alliance on there. Changing the color. You also have the same different colors that you can change this stuff around to. So very, very easy to interact with and modify. Really cool stuff with the tabard. So that's the tabard system there. Next, about the tabards is these changes are applied instantly. So all of your guild members, if they're wearing their tabard and this is what ours look like, and then I decided, well, I want to make this thing silver and I want to make it Aldmeri Dominion for whatever reason and change this color to green. Alright, and then I apply those changes. Instantly, everybody that has that tabard on would see that change for my guild. In your guild, whenever you go into guilds, you will see, for example, I'm under Great Architect now, and then switch to Templar Knights of Orion, Craving Guild Test. Each of these have its own tabard. You buy these tabards by going to the guild store. If there's a bunch of stuff where you can't see it, just filter it by guild items, and then you'll see a tabard. Make sure you're in your guild store that you want to buy a tabard for, and then it will say inside your items, where's my tabard at? Right here. Represents Great Architect. You see it right there, so you know which tabard you want to equip, and that applies to your costume slot. And basically what that means is you cannot have a costume and a tabard on at the same time. So Metamarco's costume, you can't wear Metamarco's costume and wear a tabard at the same time. Guild Traders. Let's move on to Guild Traders. What are these things? Guild Traders is the kiosk that ZeniMax has been talking about bringing into the game. There are 122 locations all over the map in different EP, DC, AD zones. I think there's some in Cold Harbor and Cyrodiil as well. They're just scattered all over the place. And how do they work? They work on a bidding system. So you go into, let's say East March. There's like 6 stands right there that are guild traders. A guild goes up to it. If they have access to interact with the guild trader, they can bid on that guild trader. If that guild has the highest bid at the end of the week, then that guild owns the rights to that guild trader for a week, and they can put their items up on their guild store, and anybody not in that guild could go to East March, talk to that trader, and buy items from my guild from it, and I could sell things to anybody. So there's plenty of stores out there for people to interact with. Now, what happens if nobody bids on it? Well, let's say that we're in the middle of the week, there's 4 days left on it or whatever, and I walk up to it, nobody's bid on that thing, it's just sitting there. You can buy it outright. Your guild can buy it outright. I don't know what the price of it is. I've not been able to interact with it on the PTS, but you can buy it outright for your guild and start using it for the remainder of the 4 days, and then it goes right back up for bidding again for somebody to get. So really cool stuff with the guild traders coming in. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think that it's definitely going to be better than the guild store system the way we're using it. They tried to put it out there in Cyrodiil. It didn't work really all that well, so we'll see how this plays out. Let's see, Guild Bank Gold. This feature unlocks once a guild has reached 10 members. Anyone in the guild can deposit and withdraw gold in the guild bank. Note that the withdrawal permissions are on a guild rank basis. So the guild master, you got to set those permissions for them to be able to withdraw. Some systems heraldry guild traders can directly deposit or withdraw from the guild bank. Next, under the 1.3 changes, the Alliance War campaign changes. All campaigns are that we're running up to until this patch have been closed, and 5 new campaigns are opening up. So once 1.3 goes live, all the 10 campaigns that are out there, they're going to close. You're going to see these. You got normal 30-day Thornblade. This is a 30-day standard campaign that anyone can join. 7-day standard. You're going to have Chilren and Hadaris. These are 7-day standard campaigns that anyone can join. Then you have special events, veteran and non-veteran. Veteran Bow of Shadows. This basically means that this is a 5-day campaign for veteran ranked players only. So if you are not veteran rank, you cannot participate in Bow of Shadows. Same thing with non-veteran rank. Blackwater Blade, this is a 5-day campaign for non-veteran rank only players. So if you're a veteran rank, you cannot get into Blackwater Blade. If you were assigned to any campaign prior to patch 1.3, you will be given a free home campaign assignment on each character previously assigned to a campaign. So you're going to be able to switch for free this one time whenever it goes live. Once 1.3 is deployed, you will be rewarded according to the placement for your alliance within your home campaign. So these alliance wars that are going on right now, they're going to end short. Definitely. It's not going to last 90 days. This patch is coming in August. So that means we're going to be cutting it short about 60 days, I guess. 40 days. I don't know. It's going to be cut short. They're going to award you for whatever you've done up to that point. Switching campaigns, home or guest, will have a 3-day lockout timer associated with it. So keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to instantly swap. Next, instant weapon swap. I mentioned this earlier. They've made changes to the way that they cache textures for your alternate weapons, which will allow you to weapon swap reliably and instantly. So now it is no cooldown, just boom, it's done. Boom, you hit it again, it's done. So that's really, really good changes. Color correction. I'm not going to go through and read this word for word. What have they done for color correction? They basically made it look more realistic in the world. A lot of changes, shading and colors, and it does look better. Armor colors and tint adjustments. This is basically just something that they have adjusted to accommodate the armor die system. Difficulty mode. This is something that they've added to the trials. At the end of the trials on the bosses, you can make these bosses more difficult. So really, really cool. I've not been able to test that yet. I've not even beaten a trial yet, so I don't know how that's going to work. Hopefully we can see this stuff next week. We're going to try to put together a run on the PTS and try to complete that. Lastly, this is not the last thing in the updates. This is just some of the main stuff that's coming for 1.3. And I'm just flying through them right now. Delves updates in Cold Harbor. The delves found in Cold Harbor are now larger and contain more monsters and loot. This is an ongoing effort to make all delves in the game larger. So I went and tested that, and it is larger. Very, very good changes in their delve system. Very happy to see what they've done with that. So that's just a brief preview of 1.3. Once they release the official 1.3 notes going to the live server, I'm going to recap 1.3 notes in another episode of ESO Recapped. So we'll go back through this stuff and dig deeper into those things. That's just what you're looking forward to coming up. Now, the last thing that I want to do for you guys, I showed you the guild Tabard stuff right here, die station. If we just go into the map, I know you got to see this very briefly in the video. Die station looks like a little bucket with a stick coming out of it. This is what it looks like. Just a table with some die stuff. When you go into this, this is your armor die screen. Now, up here at the top, you can sort these by rarity, which it is now, or hue, which is just going to give you red, yellow, greens, yada, yada, yada. Pretty self-explanatory. You have 3 rarity types. You got common, uncommon, and rare. Landakian from our guild did the pleasure of counting these things up earlier. He counted 176 different dyes, so there is a lot of dyes in here. Next, show locked basically will let you see all of them or only what you know. If you uncheck it, you only see what you know. Checked means you see everything. So now let's just take a look at, for instance, this Faded Dwemer Scholar Red. It's got a lock over it. It's locked. So how do I unlock it? It says unlocked by Dwarven Secrets Gatherer achievement. So if I right click on this thing, because it says right click to view achievement, I can view the achievement. Boom, it snaps me right into my achievements list. I can see Dwarven Secrets Gather, collect soul bars from Dwemer constructs, perfectly balanced gyro, and whirling dynamo. So if I collect those 2 things, I will unlock Faded Dwemer Scholar Red die and be able to apply it to any of my characters on my account. That's method number 1 to being able to see how you get these things. Now if you notice, there's a little treasure chest right here. So that lets me know, hey, this achievement has an armor die. What does it have? Mud Crab Maroon die. So that right there is the other way. Any of these achievements that you see that has this little treasure chest, just click on it, read what it does. You can see what color it gives you, so you know you can go and do stuff to get these achievements, or the dies. So that's thing number 1. It's really cool. Now let's talk about the tools that you have to use. Under tools, you got the paintbrush, which simply you just click on whatever color you want to apply. Let's look at this Cypher Red. I can click individually and start changing the colors of these. That was some trim right there that just changed. See the gloves changed there. I can individually dye this stuff with the paintbrush, or I can come over and get dye all with the bucket. I've already got Cypher Red, and whenever I mouse over these, you'll see that it is selecting all of that section. You can hit X to revert the changes if you don't like what you just done, so you can quickly change the stuff around and just dye different things. Very, very cool with that. You can also clear colors. So if you just use this little eraser and start clicking, it's going to start removing these colors, and it's going to revert this armor back to its original color, whatever it was before. Then you also have this copy color. So I can come in and copy, say, this blue right here. If I want that blue, and then paint it on right there, so it's going to apply that same color of blue to that area. And then lastly, the set color fill. If I want to quickly change these things, I'll just select this. You can see it colors whichever one I've currently got. We're going to do this brown. We come over and boom, apply that one, change that one, change that, change that. Very, very quickly change an armor set by doing that. Again, just simply using that to quickly change your armor colors for whatever favorite set of color you have. Now there's also the randomize feature. If you look down here, I hit F and it will just randomly start putting colors together that I have unlocked. Look like a grape there. So that's pretty cool. If you just want to just give me something cool, just run through this stuff until something cool pops up. Oh, I like that. If you like that look, you can do the copy color, copy, paint it. This is another useful way to use this eyedropper tool. And there you go. Now I have that saved. What if I don't want that anymore and we randomize something else and it's, oh, I want this red? You can do the same thing, copy color, and just override it for whatever you want in there. So that's very, very cool stuff to show you guys about the Armor system. Really, really easy to use, and I like where that's going. So I think that is everything that I wanted to cover with this episode. I know that it was a long episode, guys. Just a ton of information coming out from ZeniMax this week. The guys that are in here right now, Draven and Swift, appreciate you guys watching this stream for me. Is there any questions or anything that I needed to answer that came up while I was going through the main points?
Well, I tried to answer one of them. He was asking what armor we were wearing, but that was just for the armor you're wearing right now in your PTS.
Right, the armor that I'm got on currently, this is the Veteran Rank 12 armor. When you make a PTS character, they're going to give you a full set of legendaries right out of the Veteran Rank Trials. This comes out of Hellross Citadel, the last boss in there, the Warrior, will drop this set of gear that I have on, so you can instantly get this stuff. ZeniMax has improved greatly with PTS testing. You get all of these legendary boxes and gear. They give you full light armor, medium armor, and heavy armor right out of the gate. Use what you want to use. Go test. They give you plenty of skill points to test with as well in the PTS. And that's also something that I do want to cover as well. How do you get into PTS? This is something that gets asked quite a bit on the stream, especially here recently. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. This is my launcher. If you've not been in the PTS before, first off, what is the PTS? The PTS is the private test server, basically, or public test server. What that is live, we're on build 1.2.5 currently. PTS is on build 1.3 right now. So it is content that's coming to the live servers in the future, and ZeniMax is putting this stuff on the test server for us to test, to find bugs, give feedback about it, so that we can make adjustments or have them make adjustments before it goes to the live servers and it's just buggy as hell. So that is the purpose of the PTS, is to get in here and test and give them feedback and suggestions on what we want to see change, what we like about it, what we hate about it, etc. So the way you get into this, pull you up your launcher, click this little gear cog right here, use this scroll bar to scroll down, go to Show Public Test Environment, and click this little box, Show Public Test Environment. Click the gear cog and go back. You will now see this Elder Scrolls Online PTS. Click that. It will start a download. And I do want to note, this is another game download. It will start downloading the Elder Scrolls Online again. That is why you need 60 gigs of disk space. It will take up 60 gigs of disk space. It is free to get. It doesn't cost you anything extra. There is no additional sub for it or anything like that. It's just you have to have another copy of the game sitting on your hard drive, because it is a different build of the game from live. So that's why it has to download again. So you let that download. Make sure you do have at least another 30 gigs if you already have Elder Scrolls Online installed. And then you just simply select PTS and hit play, and you can log right into it and make a new character. Talking about making a new character, go ahead and I'll back out of this and show you that as well.
Charter Jake says, are you going to cover the new stuff about Quakecon, the information as it's released?
I plan on doing ESO Recapped episode number 27 next Saturday. After I do my Give Back giveaway, that's going to be, I'm going to be giving away some game time next Saturday. Currently we're sitting at 9 game time cards to give away, so after I get done with that giveaway, I plan on doing episode 27 of ESO Recap then, and covering whatever there's been talked about at QuakeCon, and covering that information. So yes, as it's released, probably not. I'm going to collect everything and get it all wrote down and put together and then talk about it.
Alright, one more thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Earlier in the stream, Epiphany thought it was interesting that once the Justice System is released, you won't need to be in the Thieves Guild in order to participate in the trade skills. He was saying that taking anything would be a part of the Justice System. He was kind of curious about that.
As far as we know, that's what they're saying that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that what they get at with that is, for the people that don't want to be part of the Thieves Guild, you know, they don't have to be part of it. You're not going to have to necessarily steal all your food type stuff. There's going to be ways to get food without having to steal it. That's the way I kind of read that. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think that that's the angle that they was going at that with, is you do not have to be a thief to collect materials. Anyways, character creation. So once you get logged into the PTS, you just click Create Character. Up here in the top left, you're going to have a drop-down window. You need to select Trial Testing Template. That will put you in Daggerfall Covenant. You need to select one of these 3 races here. Otherwise, it gives you an error and won't let you create the character. So just pick one of those 3 and make your character. Name it, do whatever you want to do, and then once you log in, you'll be naked and open up your items by hitting I. Get you into your bags. You'll have 1 legendary box. Open it up, and then all those other legendary boxes are in there. Very, very simple. Any other questions out there about the content I just covered? Again, I know that it was a very long episode, but you know, I tried my damnedest to condense this stuff down to just the bare bone facts of what we knew, and there was still just a lot of stuff, and I flew through a lot of it. Alright. Looks like that's probably the last of the questions pertaining to the main points that I just covered. So again, guys, if you do have questions about the game just in general, stick around in the stream. The stream will come back up shortly. I'm going to continue streaming ESO, playing the game. We're currently going through and getting some of the Dark Anchors, going for those achievements, just doing some stuff with the guild and things like that. So please hang around in the stream. If you have more questions about how I play or whatever about the game, feel free to ask. I mean, that's why I stream, guys, is to help answer these questions. And you know, we got a great group of people in the TeamSpeak and our Great Architect community. The guilds that we have multiple guilds. Just everybody's being awesome with helping people out with this game and providing answers, just facts about the game for what they know, and just everybody's learning. So really good stuff. If anybody wants any more information about the Elder Scrolls Online, as always, visit elderscrollsonline.com for more information about that. Again, if you want to know any more about Great Architect, which is the gaming community that was founded by myself and Seeing Blue, you can go to greatarchitect.us. I do want to make everybody aware that this weekend we are moving greatarchitect.us off of Engine over to a totally separate server, just standalone web page. We're pretty much in control of this thing now, and just limitless with what we can do on our page now. And that comes with just the support from you guys, being in Great Architect, showing that you want to be part of it and make it succeed. So, you know, we're being proactive about it and trying to give the avenues that you guys need for information to post up stuff and help people out. So again, that's going to be moving this week over to a totally different site. Looks totally different, and big revamps. Just tons of credit goes to Seeing Blue on that. He's busted his chops on that, and Anatha has helped him out as well for designing the page. So big shout out to them. They've been doing a lot of back end work and preparing the new site. So big thanks to those guys. My stream, of course, right now you're watching it, twitch.tv/Defatank, but if you're catching it on the replay on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Defatank, either way, visit both for tons of information there. And I think I do have a question from Epiphany.
He wanted to see the white color in the dye system. Right now, Epiphany, we do not have access to any of the, like, the rare colors, like the white, the bright whites and stuff like that, because it's the PTS, and then they give you like about 300 achievement points. Lostelvian. Yeah, you can create a level 1 character on the PTS, but to have access to everything you saw that Defa was using, you have to go to the PTS template character.
Right. Yeah, if you do just none, if you leave it checked to none, you will create a level 1, and you can create a character in any alliance if you'd use that. But the trial templates, they're forcing everybody to the Daggerfall Covenant just so they can have plenty of people available to test stuff. Exilio, welcome to the stream. Hello, how are you doing?
Epiphany, the trial or the PTS, they didn't get on. They only what you saw. What he had is what they gave us access to. If you wanted to get more, we had to go complete other achievements.
This right here is probably the closest to a white that I have. This expert gray. So right there, that's as close to white as I have. But there are some whites. Palatine's white, Liar's linen. Nernroot gray, that's a gray. Giuliano's white. LeMay's white. There's some uncommons. Varla white. Soul Shriven pale. Volunteer's iron, that's probably more of a silver. Birch white is a common. Legionary's lead, that's probably more of a silver tone. Elemental white. So again, plenty of colors there. Probably been better for me to sort this by hue so you can see how these things progress. This Giuliano's white, that's probably your whitest of white. That's probably the bright white that you're probably wanting to see. So anyways, that's those blacks. There's a lot of blacks. Cold Harbor Ash black, Sergeant's Charcoal, Legate's black, Thalmor black. So that's a lot of the polar opposite colors a lot of people's interested, but there's plenty of other colors to definitely see. Alright, any other color or questions that needs to be answered before I shut the stream back down to end the ESO recapped episode? And then, like I said, guys, don't go anywhere because the stream will come back up. Gonna continue playing ESO tonight, continuing to answer any kind of questions you guys have just generally about the game, the guild, whatever it may be. Very appreciate everybody that is been in the stream tonight watching ESO recapped. Been in here before I did ESO recap. We was doing some PvP stuff. So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for tuning into the ESO recapped episodes and all the support that you do give. Thank you very much, Draven and Swift, for hanging out in the channel watching the chat. So thank you guys for that.
No problem.
I know.
No, reading Rex's comment about saying his thing about how he thinks the game's being nerfed to accommodate the fact that there's not very many players left in the game.
That guy's back.
Well, we're not going to get into an argument over anything. The game's definitely not dying. If anything, it's growing. So we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
On that note, we're going to close out ESO Recapped, episode number 26. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching the episode. Stay put, because I am coming back online shortly.